All right, I think I just got something pretty awesome. Do you see it? Huh? So far, I'm gonna say, I like the Apex. Well, here we go. My first review of a piece of metal detecting gear. The Garrett Apex. If you're like me, you've already watched a ton of videos and you've seen how well this thing does, especially at the beach. I've seen it used in the UK, in the mud. The one place I haven't seen it used yet is the desert. The soil here changes every few miles, right? Mostly due to mining. You know, we've spread out so many miles of different types of chemicals and minerals that wouldn't have otherwise been there on the surface. So they tend to make detectors go kind of nuts. But I think with this multi-flex technology and being able to pick your frequency and change your channel, I think all those problems are going to go away. So I found a nice place. We're going to go there today and we're going to see how this machine does. I'm really excited about the target separation as well. Even with the Equinox, it will still sometimes get confused when there's a nice target right next to a big chunk of iron. The one complaint that I do have about this detector, which I can't for the life of me understand why they would do this, Garrett, is why would you use the micro USB for a charging port? That is inherently the biggest piece of garbage for a charge port. They're flimsy, the way that they solder them onto the circuit boards, there's not enough contact for it to hold strong, so you're most of the time trying to rely on it getting its stability from the little hole in the plastic that it's sticking out through. So there's going to be wiggle every time you plug in and unplug your charger. So my piece of advice to anyone that picks up this detector is fill out your warranty card immediately and send it back to Garrett. I got mine from Kellyco. I get all my stuff from Kellyco. I love them. They have the best customer service I've ever encountered. And Garrett also equally has great customer service. So I'm sure they would take care of you if you had a problem. And I would even double up and go on Garrett's website and fill out your warranty information there as well. Let's get out there and see how this thing does. I'm pretty sure that because I've never used this machine before, I'm going to do something wrong. But I guess a lot of you that are watching this are either going to get the machine or you just got the machine, so you probably don't know how to use it either. So I guess we're going to learn together. Should be fun. I've picked a part of the desert that's got some assorted obstacles. Lots of trash, lots of tin, power lines. So we'll see what this machine can handle. I haven't used a Garrett detector in a while. I started off with Bounty Hunter, then I went to, pretty quickly, went to a Fisher F4, I think. Is that a thing? Fisher F4? Yeah, I think that's what it was. Shortly after that, I went to Garrett AT Pro, used that forever, and I loved it. I went through two. I used one until it just absolutely died and got rid of it and got a new one. And shortly after that, I decided I wanted to explore the world of multi-frequency, so I went to the Equinox 800, and I love that machine. It's one of my favorite machines I've ever touched. It's light, I've modified it a bit. It seems to find the smallest of targets. It's awesome. All right, my first impression of this machine is it's pretty great. I mean, it feels nice, it's solid, it swings well. The balance on it's awesome. I'm kind of digging this coil. Long, skinny thing. The Viper. Sounds dangerous. Anyhow, I got my first target. It sounds good. It's jumping between high 70s to low 80s. If I had to put money on it, because of where I am, I'm going to say it's the bottom of an aluminum can, but I guess we'll see. I mean, you have to dig it, right? Even if you assume it's garbage, you still have to dig it. It's a good signal. I think, I forgot. It's been such a long time. I can't remember what the tones on the Garretts mean. I do remember from going over to Fort Tejon, I'll dig this in a second, I'll stop talking, I promise. Going over to Fort Tejon and doing some of our very first digs of old 1800s military targets, and it was awesome. And I do remember the mid-50s for brass and copper out there. So that number I know. High 80s, I guess, quarters and silvers and whatever, up towards the 90, I think. Guess we'll see. At least it's not an aluminum can, right? That's still totally intact too. That's great. All right, those were good numbers for a reason. It is a relic. It is of the era that, we're kind of looking for out here. The settlers, the miners. Old mason jar lid. Cool, that's a keeper. All right, first target, not bad. Thanks, Garrett. I've had a couple targets in the past few minutes. They were both 22 shells. They sounded different from each other, which was weird. Maybe because there was some iron or something next to one of them. I didn't find it, but it could be there, or it's a ghost, who knows. So anyhow, I have another target here. It's a solid 81, and that's promising, right? 80s? 80s means good, right? Okay, so now it's a solid 76. Let's dig it anyhow. Seems to be out of the hole, so we'll see. I don't get how this reads an 81, but like I said before, I haven't used a Garrett in a while, so I guess I'm not really supposed to get it yet, but I will. It's got a mid-50 signal, came out of spoon handle. This little rivet, looks like a saddle rivet or something. This was coming up like a penny. 72-ish. Seems like the detector's doing his job, but yeah, let's get on the better targets. That's pretty cool. This is interesting. I'm getting right beside it. It jumps around from between 20s back up to 80. And I can see a can top right there, a jar lid rather. Yep. Okay, so that was the 50s. And look at that. The coin signal's still there. But of course, my luck, it'll be a aluminum can bottom this time. Jeez. Well, it's telling me it's all in here somewhere. So maybe there's more than one target. I guess we'll see. God, this is a very trashy site. I don't want to hit anything. Because I am notorious for destroying targets. Whoa. Oh, baby, look at you. First silver with the Apex. I see a big old eagle. I didn't bring any water. God, it's so dry up here, I might not even need it. It's pretty black on that side. Oh, it's a barber quarter. See if we can get a date. 1899 maybe? Watching videos on the Apex, there's a lot of talk about its ability with target separation. And it did a great job. It picked out the terrible tones for the rusty jar lid, and it clearly picked up the barber quarter. Well, once the jar lid was gone, it picked it up even more clearly. So that's great. That gives me high hopes for this trash pit of a site. I was across the street, and I've moved over here because there's a bush line. Bush line here, and I found this spot on Google Earth because I like to do that with these desert areas because they're so flat and vast that you can't tell something in the distance. You know, it looks like it's just bushes, but when you get up to it, or if you look over it with Google Earth, you can see it's property lines. And that's what this was. And I guess this was an old home site. But hey, first silver with the Apex. Can't beat that, right? All right, I think I just got something pretty awesome. I don't know what it is. I know it's a big coin. It looks like a copper. I don't know, could be silver. From where I'm at, it's with as much dust as it's covered in, I really can't tell. I just threw the shovel in the ground a few times. I don't know how I didn't hit it because I was so sloppy about it because I've gotten so many garbage signals. But let's see, it was in the low 90s. Yep, 93, 91, 93, 91. So we're gonna look at this together because I'm pretty excited. I can see it's a large coin. Do you see it? Huh? I see it. Right here. Hey, buddy. What you gonna be? I don't... Oh, it looks like another barber. What? Wow. Mystery solved. It's a barber half. So far, I'm gonna say I like the Apex. So anyways, let's go look for more. This signal came up in the 70s. I thought it was a penny, but it is not. It's a little suspender clip or a garter clip. So it makes sense that that came up as a penny. You know, we're always finding lamp parts, little thumb wheels and things like that, but look at that. It's a whole bottom of the lamp. That's really neat. Victor Dietz. Dietz? I think it's Dietz. Longfellow Deeds. I almost didn't dig this because I thought it was garbage. I thought it was going to be another shotgun shell. But you know what sounds like a shotgun shell? V-nickel. At least I think it's a V-nickel. It's a V-nickel for sure. I can't see the date yet. It looks like 1897. Well, this might be my nicest surface find for a horseshoe ever. Look at that, it's perfect. I don't know how old it is, but it's really nice. That's definitely one you hang above a door. Pretty sweet. Here's my take on this detector. I think it's a great machine. I certainly don't feel like it's a beginner machine, but it's a really good machine for a beginner. Do you know what I mean? If you don't really know what you're doing, if you're just getting into the sport, you don't want to spend, you know, a fortune on a new high-end machine. This is a high-end machine at a very affordable price. I found so many great things today that I don't know if I really expected to find them. I mean, I went out expecting to find something, but I certainly didn't think I'd end up with, you know, 4 really awesome coins. So yeah, this thing likes silver, picks it out, clear as a bell. Even, you know, when it's sitting right next to rusty garbage. This is definitely a keeper. It's definitely going to go with me on most of my trips, if not as, you know, my main detector if I'm carrying a lot of stuff, because it's super light, but it's also going to be, you know, it'll be a backup, it'll be a spare for a friend or whatever. I think I like the Viper coil. I like the size of it. I mean, it's pretty good for getting, you know, in between some of the brush that's out here. I mean, there is so much, in a lot of the spots here, there's so much dry scrub. And you get caught in it pretty quick. Like with one of my big coils on my Equinox, it'll get caught up really quickly. I prefer using my little 6-inch coil on the Equinox just because it's so much easier to get in between things. But this, I mean, this is just turn it on, go, place your setting, ground balance, you're done. And it's quick, you know, it's a quick setup. And the one thing I do like about it also is you can set up your custom setting and it'll remember it every time you turn it back on. Unless, of course, you go back to factory preset and it wipes it out. But I'm sure you're not going to come up with anything too complicated to where you won't remember, you know, how to reset your custom. I really appreciated how it picked out a barber quarter right next to a rusty jar lid. That, to me, makes it worth every penny. Hopefully, next time Garrett does something with a rechargeable lithium-ion battery, it'll either be magnetic, like the MindLab Equinox, or it'll be a USB Type-C, which is much more stable. And the great thing about the USB Type-C is both ends are identical. Doesn't matter which way you put it in, it's still going to charge. So, with all that said, and I know it was a lot, sorry about all the talking, but it is a review video, so thanks for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. You keep watching them, I'll keep making them. And comment down below and let me know if there's something, you know, that you feel I could be doing better in these videos, because really, honestly, I'm just kind of winging it. So hit that bell so you can get notified for the next videos coming up. It should be pretty soon. I'm just waiting for some of the smoke to pass. Thanks again, as always, for joining me, and I will see you next time under California.